I'm Steve Turano with Ask a Real Expert. Adam asks this question about warming up. Hey Steve, how many sets do you do? How many reps do you do? How much weight do you handle? And do you warm up before every exercise? Well, the purpose of warming up is to increase the temperature of the muscle, increase its pliability or its stretchability, and increase its range of motion. All these things help to improve your lifting. You see guys who will get on the treadmill and walk for 5 or 10 minutes. That's great, but it's not actually warming up the muscle you plan to train. So when you bench or then start back or biceps, you still have to warm that muscle group up. And you see guys who can bench press only like 315. So they'll go to the bench, do 135 for 10, great, and then jump to 2 1/4 for like 8, maybe 10, and then right to 315, which is their max. I'm like, dude, you're going to tear a pec. If you're benching 500 for 10, you can do that kind of stuff, but not the average guy. When I warm up, I think in terms of warm-up sets, not workout sets. So warm-ups are not going to wear you out. It's weight that you can handle easily for 8 to 10 reps, even though you're increasing the weight. So the jumps in weight that you take are going to depend on what exercises you're doing and how strong you are. Like when I bench press, because I've had some shoulder injuries, I typically start with the bar, just for the range of motion. And then I go to 95 for 10. Then I do 135 for 10, 135 for 10, and I notice that it's getting easier. The weight seems to be getting lighter. Then I do 185 for 10, then I do 2 1/4 for 10. Now I'm ready to work out. Then when I go to inclines, you'd think my chest would be warmed up, but because it's a different angle, I actually do one set of 135s because it stretches me differently. Because instead of being flat, I'm at about 45 degrees. So I do one set of 135, and then I go to 2 1/4. With back, I do 4 sets of T-bar rows, and then I go to the real weight. When I go to pull downs, because the angle is 90 degrees different, I do 1 or 2 sets of not warm-up weight, but just, lighter weight, maybe 20 or 30 pounds off the max. Then after I do those 2, then I jump into the real weight. Preacher curls, I'll warm up a lot on those because they put a lot of pressure on the biceps. But then when I go to dumbbell curls, I'll start off with damn near close to my real weight. So I might start off with the 70s, go to the 75s, and then the 80s. Again, leg press, if you're leg pressing 20 plates, you got to work your way up to it. So you might have to do 6 or 7 warm-up sets, working your way up to your working weight. The important thing is you got to remember, you don't want to wear yourself out, but you do need to warm up. That's the most important thing because it does increase the temperature of the muscle, the range of the muscle, and the pliability or the stretchiness of the muscle. All of these things will help you warm up, and this is especially true if you're lifting really heavy or you're going to go heavy that day, you're older, or you have some injuries. I'm Steve Turano. Train smart, train hard.